Today we're going to be talking spoilers for A Court of Frost and Starlight by Sarah J. Maas. So if you have not read this book, save this and come back later once you have. And I also have a spoiler-free review that you can check out. Okay, so disclosure out of the way, let's get into it. I have a list of notes because there were a lot of things that I enjoyed about this book. And I might be jumping around a little bit and reading from this paper, but there were just a bunch of little moments that I wanted to shout out. If you saw my spoiler-free review, I kind of touched on this, but unpopular opinion, I enjoyed this book and I highly recommend that everybody read it who is reading this series. Stop, dude. I'm going to go on a little rant about this because also, excuse my dog, he's like buffing in the background because people are outside. He won't stop, and yeah. I don't understand the hate for this book. Like people saying it's a waste of time, it's, garbage, blah blah blah. Like this is not supposed to be groundbreaking. It's supposed to be a happy little break, a story, an interlude and, before the next book. I don't understand why people can't just be happy for these characters, right? If you're reading this series, I'm assuming you're interested at this point. If you've developed attachments for these characters, why would you not want them to be happy? And why would you not want to read about that? Like they've gone through all of this crap with Highburn and all of this stuff, losing all these people, suffering, fighting for, Prithian. Like, why can't they just have a break? Why can't they enjoy life and then we get to experience that with them? I don't understand why that's not a good thing and why you wouldn't want to read about that. I just don't I don't get it. Okay, I get maybe you don't want like a thick boy, like if it was twice as long. Like I get that. But I mean, this is a cute little quick book. Why can't it just be good? And it wasn't all, sunshine and rainbows. There were some difficult things in here. So I'm just like, I don't know. I don't get it. And poo-poo on all the people that say you shouldn't read it. I said what I said. It's an unpopular opinion, apparently. I don't care. So it is what it is. I will get off of my soapbox now and say that I was really happy to be back in Valaris because I took a break after Akawar and read the entire Throne of Glass series. So I was just really happy to be back with my people in Valaris, and especially because it was such a lovely book, a lovely time. It was really nice to be back. It's okay. People are just getting in their car. Dude, please, please. I just want to mention the sky boinking. I can't imagine what it must have been like for people in Valaris to just look up, see your high lord and lady just going at it. The logistics of that also, I'm just like, how? But I thought that was funny. I also made a note of a touching moment between Cassian and Rhys. I don't remember specifically what it was now, but I really appreciate how she can show male companionship, being tender and loving, as well as, the other side of let's fight it out and get our aggression, let's battle like tough guys, it's just all of multifaceted male characters. I really appreciated that. I did find the point of view switching to be a little odd because you're going from one character to another. I guess reading Throne of Glass kind of prepared me for that, so it wasn't as jarring because that's what happens in Throne of Glass. You switch point of views. So I was kind of used to that already, but with the ACOTAR series, it was typically first person, so it was kind of weird. But it wasn't that bad. Also, what the fuck is up with Nesta not talking to Cassian? You almost died to protect him and now you're not going to talk to him. What is that? Racina, I think that's how you say her name. I really liked her character. I loved how blunt she was, how honest and open she was with Feyre. I think that she's going to be a really good influence for Feyre and that she would make a really good friend to her. I really love the term mother henning. It's comical. It just makes me laugh when I read it, and how that she was describing Rhys, fussing over Feyre's cycle. I thought that was adorable and I could just picture it. But also, let's talk about the Fae cycle. That sounds terrible. And I had endometriosis. So my cycles were excruciating. And even when I wasn't on my, like, I was just in pain all the time. But this sounds so bad. Good thing it's only twice a year. Hats off to them for going through that. It's a shame that magic can't, like, decrease that or ease it or take it away. Like, you would think that there would be some kind of a spell or something they could do. I got a kick out of how Cassian named Nesta's poses. And the one that he brought up was, I don't want Cassian to know I'm reading smut. Like, I thought that was funny. Can we talk about Tam Tam? Now, as much of a turd as he is, I kind of felt bad. It's uncomfortable how pathetic he is. I give props to Reese for going over there and trying to, like, kind of motivate him to, like, get himself together. That was tough to read. One of my favorite things that I read in this book was drunk Feyre and Cassian decorating the townhouse for Christmas. And then how Asriel comes in and fixes it. Another moment that made me cackle was how they were making fun of Amren's difficulty peeing, because I guess when she was drinking blood that she didn't have to go to the bathroom. I I don't really understand that, but the fact that she's struggling with, like, going to the bathroom, just it's just funny. We also learned that Moore is a terrible gift giver. So that was entertaining to read about all of the terrible gifts she gave. It feels like a lot of her gifts are just so outrageous that it doesn't even make any sense. Also, I feel like being a fae with the strong sense of smell that they have would be very distracting. The fact that you can smell scents of people, I mean, it could be useful, like when you're smelling that they're, scared or lying or whatever, how they can smell when, like, somebody's turned on or they've had sex. Like, how distracting must that be? I guess you practice tuning it out. I don't know. The Band of Exiles. I can't. Oh man, that is pretty pathetic. One of my top favorite things, I don't know if this is my number one, it might be my number one thing that we learn in this, is the Bat Boys snowball fight. I mean, how freaking adorable. The top 3 most feared warriors in all the land every year have a snowball fight with each other. And then afterwards, they go and sit in a sauna together. It was so cute. I also really enjoyed reading the gift exchange scene and with the birthday cake, on how Elaine decorated it like their dresser back in the human lands. It was a funny scene. It was touching, all of the things. Like, I really enjoyed that part. I wonder if we're ever going to find out what gift that Cassian wanted to give to Nesta that he just chucked into the Sidra. I don't know. Like, I'm really curious about what that was. And just a note about Feyre and Reese's boom boom session that was described later in the book. That was intense. I mean, galaxies and stars. I don't know if the Fae in other series are like this, but with Sarah J. Maas, like, the ones that she writes, when they are intertwined, they're like destroying things with elements, and it's very risky business. I love the concept of Feyre and Racina's studio, where they're, teaching people how to be, artistic, and just a place to come and try to heal through art. I think that's such a good thing for Feyre, for her, healing and finding something to do and purpose, and how she can help her community. And then the last thing that I wrote down was the thing watching more from the woods. Like, what was all that about? It seems kind of creepy, and like it's setting something up for the next book, I guess. I don't know. But so while this book wasn't plot heavy, there were a lot of things to enjoy, and I'm sure I missed some things. So let me know in the comments what were some of your favorite parts. Also, encourage other people to read this book and don't listen to the haters. Okay, happy reading.